For most of human history, the region between Australia and mainland Asia has been absent from the global stage. A land of over 17,000 islands, it was largely disconnected from the rest of the world. And starting around 1600, it came under the rule of the Dutch East India Company before being handed over to the Dutch Empire. For nearly 450 years, the area was suppressed by colonial rule, until 1949 when it was finally granted independence and the country Indonesia was born. Since then, Indonesia has transformed immensely. Over the past 70 years, the country's population has nearly quadrupled, from 72.3 million people in 1952 to 278 million in 2022. It is now the fourth most populous country in the world, with as many people as the UK, Germany, France, and Italy combined. Meanwhile, Indonesia's economy has also skyrocketed. Over the past 30 years, its GDP by PPP has more than quintupled, from $617 billion in 1991 to $3.5 trillion in 2021, making it the seventh largest economy in the world. With so much momentum, it makes you think, what will Indonesia look like in 30 or 50 years? Will we see a new global superpower? By 2050, it's projected that Indonesia's population will have increased 20% to 330 million people, the same as the United States in 2020. This growth will keep Indonesia young. Over the next 30 years, while China, the US, and Europe's labor forces decline, Indonesia's will grow, providing a major economic advantage. In fact, by 2050, it's predicted that Indonesia's GDP will reach $10.4 trillion, 3 times what it is today, making it the fourth largest economy in the world. This growth would boost Indonesia's GDP per capita to $32,000, 2.6 times what it is today. However, this growth is not guaranteed. After years of neglect, Indonesia's infrastructure, which is key to attracting investment and promoting economic development, has become largely deficient. To improve its infrastructure, Indonesia is pursuing many large-scale megaprojects. In the capital city of Jakarta, a new $2.3 billion light rail transit system is under construction. As of August 2021, it was 87% finished and is now targeted to be operational by July 2022. Nearby, connecting Jakarta and the nearby city of Bandung, an $8 billion high-speed rail line is being built, which should be finished by 2023. Just northwest of Jakarta, on the island of Sumatra, the $33 billion Trans-Sumatra toll road is under construction, which will stretch 2,800 kilometers across the island. As of May 2021, 663 kilometers were operational. The whole expressway is planned to be finished by 2024. Lastly, down in Bali, a $1 billion toll road between Denpasar and Gilimanuk is set to begin construction in late 2021. In the near future, Indonesia plans to pursue many other megaprojects, including 21 gigawatts of renewable power plants by 2030 and a bridge between Batam and Bintan Islands near Singapore. Farther into the future, a $15 billion bridge between Sumatra and Java, new multi-billion dollar airports near Medan and Jakarta, and a railway across Sumatra may be built. In addition to its infrastructure megaprojects, Indonesia has several key advantages that will help lift it to superpower status. First of all, it is abundant in natural resources such as copper, gold, oil, and natural gas, which will fuel its economy. Second, its location right along the Malacca Strait, one of the busiest maritime passages in the world, gives it strategic access to global trade. Lastly, being an island nation surrounded by democratic allies, Indonesia has essentially zero threat of foreign attack. Because of this, Indonesia has historically had a relatively small military, focused on defense. Nevertheless, it is still the strongest force in Southeast Asia and the 16th strongest in the world. Instead of becoming a global military superpower, Indonesia's strength will lie in its soft power. As the fourth largest economy in the world, Indonesia will be able to use its immense economic influence to impact foreign affairs globally. And with the most powerful military and economy in the region, Indonesia will have immense influence on its neighboring countries. Still though, Indonesia's rise to global influence will not come without its challenges. Currently, Indonesia has many internal problems that hinder its development. Its education system is lacking, it suffers from corruption and economic inequality, and is divided by religious intolerance and separatism. However, the most threatening and long-term issue of all is external: climate change. Indonesia is a heavily forested nation. Dense rainforest covers 52% of the country, hosting thousands of species, stabilizing the region's climate, and providing a vital carbon sink. However, over the past 20 years, Indonesia has lost 28 million hectares of forest cover, 17% of its total, or an area the size of Italy. This deforestation has been almost entirely commodity-driven, most notably for mining, timber, and palm oil. Fortunately, the Indonesian government is working to reduce deforestation, and in 2020, it fell 75% from previous levels. However, experts fear a rebound is on the way, and that over the coming decades, vast amounts of the nation's forests will be destroyed, contributing to global warming, harming wildlife, and destabilizing Indonesia's climate and agriculture industry. While Indonesia fights deforestation, the repercussions of climate change will begin materializing. Over the coming decades, the length of Indonesia's rainy season is expected to dwindle, lowering crop yields and food security. Meanwhile, sea levels will rise. Currently, hundreds of small islands and thousands of kilometers of coastline are at risk of disappearing due to flooding and rising sea levels. And unfortunately, Indonesia's most important city is not spared. Jakarta, the economic and administrative capital of Indonesia, is the fastest sinking city in the world. Due to the extraction of groundwater and the subsequent degradation of subsurface aquifers, Jakarta is physically sinking, up to 20 centimeters a year in certain areas. This sinking, combined with rising sea levels and the city's already low elevation, is putting Jakarta at extreme risk for catastrophic flooding. If nothing is done, 25% of the city could be submerged by 2050, displacing millions of people and disabling much of the metropolis's economy. In addition to its physical descent, Jakarta is also incredibly congested in one of the most polluted urban areas in the world. Because of this, the Indonesian government has begun questioning the city's suitability as national capital. On August 26, 2019, President Joko Widodo officially announced that Indonesia's national capital would be relocated away from Jakarta to a brand new $34 billion city in East Kalimantan on the island of Borneo. The new city, which will cover 562 square kilometers, calls for a green design, futuristic technology, and modern buildings and infrastructure. It is set to begin construction in 2024 and be finished in the coming decades. According to the Indonesian government, the city will relieve pressure from Jakarta and help spread economic activity outside of Java Island, where 60% of the country's GDP is currently generated. However, others see the project in a different light. They fear it will serve as an escape for the affluent and that it will lead to the neglect of Jakarta and its population. In response to these fears, the Indonesian government has emphasized its commitment to Jakarta and has pledged $40 billion over the coming decade to help save it. Despite the problems facing Indonesia, the Southeast Asian giant is advancing rapidly and is on a trajectory for global economic power and influence. Its rise, along with many other developing nations, will certainly serve as a focal point for the coming century. If you enjoyed this video, it would be amazing if you like and subscribe to Futurology for more videos very similar to this one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.